Hey everybody, it's Kenneth Ramon back here again in the Cruiser Bruiser, back with you this time with another awesome-tacular movie review for you guys. I just got out of watching Clifford, the Big Red Dog, and I was super pumped for this movie because, as a kid growing up, I would watch the cartoons, after school, and I would read the books as a kid, so I had high hopes for this movie. I was super stoked. Does it hold up to this classic of mine? Childhood favorite of mine growing up? Well, let's talk about it. So in this 2021 adaptation of Clifford the Big Red Dog, based on the children's books, it centers around this little girl, Emily, and basically her own story about her struggles trying to fit in. She's kind of an outcast amongst her peers, and she's just longing for that companion and friend that really understands where she's coming from. And she finds that in Clifford, the Big Red Dog, who magically grows overnight. The amount of love that you give the dog, the bigger it gets as the story goes. Right, so it centers around Emily and her uncle and their struggle to try to keep Clifford a secret from Emily's mother and the townspeople, as well as this company that's trying to profit off of this big red dog and try to take credit for him being a hero around town. So Emily's uncle is having to take care of Emily while her mother's busy with work, right? And Emily's uncle is just this kooky out there guy. Okay, so they're just walking through the park, and then her uncle spots this Bridwill's Animal Kingdom, okay? And he's like, oh, that's right up my alley. Let's go in there and check it out. So they check it out, and I kid you not, guys, it's like a tiny tent. They go in there, and they're like this whole circus full of animals, right? And then they come across Clifford as a puppy. He's just a small little red dog. And gosh, I tell you guys, the CGI is god-awful, okay? At least when Clifford's like a little puppy, it's so not believable. However, the CGI gets better as Clifford grows into a big dog. You kind of believe it's actually a dog. At least I did. But for the early stages when he's a puppy, it's just the CGI is just painfully obvious, especially when he's running around. You just do not believe that that's an actual dog. And now, I've never been a big fan of CGI. Those of you who have seen my reviews before know that. But in this case, I give it a pass because how else are you going to get a big red dog, And you're not going to just, hire a dog actor and spray paint him red. You can't do that. Now, let me tell you guys, I was really hooked in this movie to begin with. I felt like it had a lot of heart at first. Or it begins with this narration, okay, where it says, even when you're alone, there is magic to be found in this world wherever you go. And I was like, okay, we're starting out positive, this has high potential, right? And then as it goes, I just feel like this movie it was trying to rush itself to the conclusion, and then you really don't have that bond that you have, with the characters and with Clifford, to be exact, because this movie is supposed to be centered around Clifford, the big red dog, when really you get more of Emily and her uncle's story. And that's good and all, but we kind of want that bond with Clifford and Emily that we love so much, in the books and in the TV shows. At least I did, growing up, that's what I really loved about the show, that special bond that Emily has with her companion Clifford. And you don't really get that here. And it's kind of disappointing. Now, going into Emily's story and, her struggles with bullying and school and things like that, I felt like this movie has a really good message to deliver children, but at the same time, I felt like they went a little too far for a kid's movie. I kid you not, guys, there's a part in this movie where the bully tells Emily, oh, you're an accident. You shouldn't even be here. Now, I might be taking that out of context a little bit, but those words are heavy, really heavy for a children's movie, I feel. And, that's my fear is that, kids are going to hear that and start telling people, hey, you're an accident. You shouldn't be here. We don't want our kids to say that, Sorry guys, I'm getting a little bit of a glare here. Hopefully the quality isn't too bad. But yeah, to follow up with that, you get all this crude humor, All right, this toilet humor, a lot of adult jokes in there, which I get it. Adults are bringing their kids, so you want to kind of have something for the adults to kind of laugh at, make it, an enjoyable experience for everybody. But you guys, this is like an educational show. This is a scholastic, book, and this is rated G. The original, I don't remember so many pee and poop and butt jokes being in Clifford the Big Red Dog. It was something educational that all ages could enjoy, and any kid could read in the classroom without so much inappropriate humor. I mean, I'm sorry, listen, I'm all for, adult humor and sophomoric humor, but there's a time and place for that. I don't think it belongs in Clifford the Big Red Dog, And, if I were a teacher, I wouldn't want to show this in my classroom. I feel like it's very inappropriate. And that's really my big beef with this, is there's just too much crude humor. Like when I was a kid, I saw some crude humor, but I'd watch Jim Carrey movies for that. I'd watch Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, not Clifford the Big Red Dog, And if you're a teacher, you kind of want to engage your students into reading, because there's kids out there that don't like to read, but they watch the movie and it inspires them to read the book. But, if you can't show the movie in the classroom because it's inappropriate, that's like a big red flag there, I guess the same could be said with, Jim Carrey's The Grinch. There's a lot of inappropriate humor. But even in The Grinch with Jim Carrey, I feel like, the inappropriate humor is mild. Like you could easily just press the fast forward button and get to the next scene. But this one, man, joke after joke, and it's good. It's good to have humor in there for the adult, but there's just so many in here, you guys, and I found myself doing this most of the time. Like, man, why are they doing this in a, what's supposed to be inspired by a children's book, and then I kid you not, there's even this scene in there where there's an adult joke, okay, where, you get the bad guys and they're trying to capture Clifford, and one of the bad guys, the head honcho of the bad clan, he's all like, oh, red's always been my favorite color. And then you have this woman that he's attracted to going, oh, is that right? Because she's a redhead, right? She's like, oh, do we really need that in a kid's movie? Was that really necessary? There's just things like that, and then just the butt jokes, man, so many butt jokes, and then stick this thing up Clifford's, well, it rhymes with nut hole. Isn't this supposed to be a kid's movie? That's my main beef with this, for what it is, I guess it's all right, but it's not something that I would show a young kid, because there's a lot of inappropriate humor in it, and this is supposed to be an educational program, like I said. That is my main beef. I'm sorry. I'm going on a rant now, you guys. That's not good. And I will say, I did laugh a bit. I mean, there's some jokes in there that really land. Like the part where the uncle, I kid you not, the uncle's living in his van, alright? And then he gets out of the van and there's a police officer, giving him a ticket. And then he runs off and he's like, oh, no, I don't have time. I'm late for work. Pay it forward. That's funny. And then you get other jokes, like where Emily and her uncle are cheering because they find out that, the magician responsible, that Bridwell, he's still alive, because there's a point in the movie where they think he passed away, and they're cheering. They're like, yay, Bridwell's still alive! This other Bridwell, he's dead, but our Bridwell's still alive! I don't know why we're cheering, because this other Bridwell died. It's funny, okay? It's great black comedy. But does it belong in this children's movie? I don't know. Should we show our kids that? It just seems a little bit mean-spirited to me, you guys. That's all. And I would just say, as a fan, R.I.P. John Ritter, man. The original voice of Clifford the Big Red Dog. You're dearly missed. I wish they brought Jason Ritter. I wish they brought your son to play the uncle. He would have been perfect for it, really. So I don't know. I have to wonder if they asked him, because he would have been perfect for this movie. Alright, I'm sorry for sounding like an angry parent there, but you guys, there's just a lot of that. There's a lot of crude humor, and very little of that bond with Emily and Clifford. Okay, we want more of that, and more adventure. And I feel like the story kind of falls flat too. It's really just about, Emily and her uncle just trying to keep Clifford a secret, and it gets old after a while. Like the plot is very thin. We could use a little bit more to it. And there's things I do like about it. Like I said, John Cleese as Bridwell was amazing. Okay, amazing actor, very lovable character, and John Cleese really delivers. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, that's not enough to save the film. It's like trying to polish a turd. See, now I'm using crude humor for this. It's not good, you guys. Not good. It's supposed to be an educational program. Anyways, you guys, let's rate this movie. Alrighty, guys, well, before I get to my final rating on Clifford the Big Red Dog, just want to thank you all for watching my video. If you like what you see so far, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I really do appreciate all the support. Thank you so much, you guys. Alrighty, guys, this pains me to do, but I gotta give this movie a 6 out of 10. This was bad. This was really bad, and like the ending, man, like I say, they just try to rush the whole thing so that like the ending isn't really as strong. Like they give Emily this big speech at the end, and for what it is, it was great. The actress who plays Emily, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the name. She's an amazing actress, and she has potential, man. I am very interested in seeing like where her career goes after this, because she's a really good actress. Okay, she delivers a great speech at the end of this movie, but after that, it just ends, and there's not enough build-up before the speech to make it so impactful. And you guys, that's just it. This movie falls really flat, and I kind of wanted a little bit more out of it, unfortunately. So yeah, you guys, 6 out of 10. It was bad. Okay, I wanted to give it 7 out of 10, just all right, but I was genuinely upset, with all the inappropriate humor. Like, it just doesn't belong in Clifford the Big Red Dog. Make another movie, I mean, there's movies like this, like, The Cat in the Hat, and, See Spot Run has a lot of crude jokes, but, it is what it is. It's not, like trying to, be a representation of a children's book. We can't show this in the classroom, and that bothers me. Anyways, you guys, that's my review. Sorry, I'm a little disappointed. I'm getting a little bit angry now, so I'm just gonna sign off. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Kenneth Ramon, signing off.